Scorpio, welcome to your new moon reading for the Aquarius full moon. The Aquarius new moon on the 13th of March. This particular reading will be informational, valid, and helpful through to the 12th of April, when we'll have our next new moon. And we'll do another one of these. Now, this particular new moon in Aquarius, which is a conjunction of the sun and the moon, and therefore an inception, a conception, a new beginning, falls in your fourth house. So it's really about how you're going to show up with your home, your family, your residence, your real estate, land, farming, natural resources, but your parents in general, your father specifically. So paternal relatives for your fourth house, Scorpio. And since Neptune and Mercury are kind of in the mix, they're in the same sign in Aquarius, we can be pretty sure there's going to be some influence from Saturn there as well. And it's going to be about how you show up in these situations, how you communicate there. And I'm looking at this particular lunation as, an opportunity for personal alignment, yourself, small self, with your larger self, your soul. Like, how can we end the wars outside of us? We have to end the wars within us, right? We have to take a look at how we fight ourselves and how we can bring that into alignment. So how you show up in your home with your paternal relatives in your residence may have something to do with that for the next 28 days. And hopefully this reading will give us some insight into the energies that will be playing for you. Your golden thread tarot card is the Ten of Pentacles. What a beautiful card that is. This golden gate of material, natural, and physical prosperity. This is the completion card for the lower arcana suit of pentacles, which are like coins in some other decks. And this one, talks all about security in the material world and a good relationship with nature. The Ten of Pentacles being like legacy and inheritance. But my favorite part about this card is how it represents the understanding of the value of the material world and the soul's journey here. Why do we choose to come to matter? And it looks like you may be completing some sort of understanding about that. You may get a complete knowledge about it. And there will be movement, some sort of incoming messages. Some people call this card the arrows of love. That is one of the very best values of being in the meat suit, is that you get to know love. And this love that you may get to know will have some rapid action, some movement, perhaps some quick decisions that need to be made around this material prosperity. Very interesting and beautiful first cards. Now here, I'm going to do a Celtic cross spread for you. I'm looking for a signifier. So Spirit, guide me to a card that helps Scorpio see themselves more clearly in this moment. Help Scorpio see themselves in this reading? What represents Scorpio in this reading? Well, you got a major arcana card. A lot of people don't use those as signifiers, but I do. I have a very specific selection that I use, and that one was definitely the one that wanted to come out. Major arcana card of contemplation, search for the truth, can also be inner guidance, and very significantly can be good advice from wise counsel. Look at the way this person kind of dwarfs the landscape. He's standing on the mountaintop and he has the view. There's a way in which he's able to see what's below him, which is definitely what he's looking at. He's looking down below and he's able to see everything that's there. He's got the light of the star to guide him. And this is that card. This is like being guided on your journey. You're covered by yet another major arcana card, the card of movement. These two sphinxes that are pulling the chariot signify the two hemispheres of the brain working together, working in concert. This is about control and direction and drive and ambition. Some people see this card as success. So what I'm seeing here is wise movement, a lot of it. Oh my gosh, another major arcana card. So you have the Fool, and the Fool, of course, is new beginnings and innocence, a free spirit, but can also be naivety. And read in the reverse, as we're going to in this reading, because he's your obstacle card, it's recklessness. Perhaps even being taken advantage of, but it's definitely a lack of consideration. It's ill-advised. It's really interesting. It's like you have the right information, you have the right wisdom and knowledge, you have the right direction, you have the control, but the obstacle is recklessness and misinformed, heedless, walking right over a cliff. So good thing we're doing the reading, right? You're crowned by the Nine of Cups, the happy innkeeper card, right? This guy has got so much emotional wealth, contentment, that he has 9 cups arrayed for visitors who will come and see him, stay at his inn, spend the night partying. He is satisfied, he is emotionally stable. There's luxury here. His wishes or your wishes are being fulfilled. So, good crowning energy. Maybe the recklessness of the Fool is not as foolhardy as it seems. Maybe being naive will lead you in the right way. Let's see. There's an ideal in your foundation. The Page of Pentacles, although it's very young energy, this guy is definitely ambitious. He is proceeding toward some kind of an ideal. Just look at how he's holding that pentacle up, right? He's got a desire, a diligence, a focus. Just don't be reckless about it is what I'm getting so far. Geez, with the major arcanas for this one. Justice. So you're moving away from justice. That is the card of your past. Very interesting how these major arcana are arrayed here. Now, justice in the past position means that you used to, you've already dealt with the effect of an action. So it's like causation, essentially, like clarity and truth that came from actually trying something. And if that's the case, then this Fool obstacle may be, despite all the really upright seeming, got it all together energy that's here, maybe a mistake was made. And perhaps you've gotten some clarity from an error. If anybody knew how to learn better than by making a mistake, they should teach us all, because that's how most of us learn. We learn by making errors. Nothing wrong with that. And you're headed toward an emotional contentment. She kind of radiates emotional comfort, the Queen of Cups does. It's kind of a beautiful, dreamy, watery, hold you in my heart forever kind of energy. But it's very calm. And it's very emotionally comfortable. And, you know, honestly, that's how I feel after I've made a good mistake and I learned my lesson. I feel a little humbled, but my emotional cup feels very full. And that could be what you're experiencing here. Now, in this now moment, in this present moment, you are represented by the Hanged Man. This is your 5th major arcana card, Scorpio. Now we know that this means big doings. And this particular card can signify martyrdom and also sacrifice, but I'm not really getting it in this reading as much as I'm getting, you know, the change of perception, the movement of point of view. It looks to me like you're releasing one way of thinking about something and moving into either a period of waiting, or the period of waiting is giving you a new perspective on this. One obvious low-hanging fruit read is that there was a mistake made, could possibly involve driving, that involved a little jail time, and justice was served, and you moved on to a new reality, a wish fulfillment, an ambition. I'm hoping, if anything like that did happen, that the forward movement is already completed. But, you know, mistakes were made. All around you is the queen of prosperity at this point. So whatever foibles, whatever mistakes may have occurred in the past, it looks like they are well and truly behind you. And where you sit right now is kind of this place of creature comforts and financial security, perhaps. It's definitely about security in the material world, hopefully not, you know, maximum security type of security, but it's about practicality. It's pretty much the opposite of this foolhardiness here, of this just walking right off the cliff because it's a sunny, pretty day kind of energy. She's really grounded. She kind of knows what she's doing, and you've either got yourself in that situation or gotten yourself back to that situation, because that's who you really are. You really are wisdom, and she's practical, grounded wisdom. Oh, beautiful. Your hopes and fears at this stage of your reading are the World, and this is a card of completion and harmony. There's harmony, disharmony, and repair, right? Those are the cycles. They just go on all the time through all things. They permeate all of it. And as much as, you know, we make mistakes, we err and have done some pretty ridiculous things in the past, it's definitely the case that there is harmony ahead of you, and you both hope for it and you fear it to a certain degree. Maybe things have been turbulent for so long that fulfillment and completion seem a little scary right now. I can't help it. A asylum and prison and jail iconography keeps coming to mind. You know, like when you've been in a situation of isolation, or you've been in a situation where you were not in contact with a lot of other people, and you're coming back to be around your family, your neighbors, your local people, your parental groups, as we talked about before, your residents, your real estate. There can be some fear coming back from a difficult situation. You know, it could be a medical situation, could be anything where you are away from your home and your family, and now you're being reunited. That's a fearful time. Even positive events can be stressful. The outcome here is habit. So that's the way I look at that. That's also a card that can be a card of addiction. It's not necessarily a bad card. It gets a bad rap because it's the devil. But it's about materialism, right? And it's about hedonistic materialism. Like playfulness and addiction all fall under the realm of habit. But a habit can be both ends of the spectrum. It can be a good habit, or it can be a bad habit. It can be a positive addiction, or it can be a negative addiction. It can be good playfulness, or it can be destructive and harmful playfulness. This is a "it depends on you" card, and this is really an "it depends on you" reading. The forward flow of things here does have a hedonistic tendency, but because you've learned to see that it's not the best idea to follow every impulse, right? I mean, Scorpios go into some of the deepest, darkest places. You don't want to come back with the habits of the deepest, darkest places. It's good to go and visit. You know, it's good to visit the darkness. Don't marry the darkness. Don't make it be your lifelong companion. Choose the right habits to come into this harmony that you hope for and you fear. Your bottom of the deck card, the underlying energy for the whole reading, is the hero's journey archetype, right? Embarking on a new exciting adventure. And I think that's a great way to look at trying to reform habits, especially when we're basically talking about coming into better relationship between you and you. That's a beautiful way to do it. And I really hope that there is a spirit of adventure, despite, you know, what looks like it may have been a difficult time. There were some lessons learned here. Your innate wisdom, your soul is untouched by anything that happens on the earth plane. What your emotions provide the soul here is merely information and education. So don't forget that as you head out into your next wonderful adventure. Keep your sense of excitement, your joy in exploration with you. And, you know, it's a good idea not to let anything become a habit. Uranus is part of this lunation too, and is definitely a part of the whole Saturn scene that we've been dealing with for a long time. It's best to do it different as often as you can to kind of keep things moving and not get rutted with things. Definitely seems to be like there's a temptation toward continuing on with difficult situations that don't really need to be experienced again. I mean, impulsive behavior can be a lot of fun, but I'm not really sure you need to do whatever this one was more than once or twice. Could be. At any rate, The medicine cards want to encourage you to install some boundaries. There may be lots of things to experience recklessly and heedlessly, and hedonism can be a lot of fun, but everything exists on a continuum, and we definitely need to have limits around our behavior so that we don't get hurt and so that other people don't get hurt, right? You gotta make it to the end of the journey. And the best way to do that is to install a few boundaries, like armadillo does. I say armadillo. I'm sure a lot of people just say it armadillo. But this creature can wrap himself up like a pill bug and becomes just about impenetrable. They're lovely in their armor, and I think it's a really cool card for you, especially facing the challenges you seem to face here. Spider, this is one of my friend's favorite cards. Weaving your destiny, weaving your fate, that it's all somehow included in the warp and the woof of this thing. That you have lots of intricacy in your tapestry, and you certainly do, Scorpio. You certainly seem like you have a lot of interesting places that you've been and that you're going. I think it's a beautiful reading. I think Spider is a profound omen of destiny, of femininity, of softness and inclusiveness, that all of the loose threads will be woven together into one useful and edifying object. Enjoy your journey to the next new moon, and with any luck, I'll be seeing you then. Thank you so much for your likes, shares, and subscribes. I do appreciate your time. Thank you for watching, Scorpio. Thank you. Thanks so much.